Judah and Ephraim in the army.
A lot of Judah and a lot of Ephraim, innit? I don't see no Edomites.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there's one. Wow. Why is there so many Judahs and Ephraims
Can
in this
you
army?
stop heckling the children?
Heckling who? Who am I heckling?
the children.
Who am I heckling?
Stop heckling.
Who am I heckling? What children did I
They're
say? Did I say children? Did I say children?
Teach them right. Don't teach them wrong from the word.
Innit? Lying to them. Having them go kill themselves for who?
Edomite.
He's happy about it. He's having a good day.
Real dude. He's happy. He's got our children dying. He's got their children. Fool.
Edomite, bro. Hey, Esau had to let him know that he was about it.
Yeah, man, heckling the children. Who we heckling?
Because you're too close to this man. There's too many brothers on that side. You need to shift the
Guys,
line.
come that way.
The only person that needs to be there is
Essentially.
Yeah, man, yeah, shift it.
That way. Come again.
No, you stay here.
Come again.
Rolling.
Yeah.
All our children in doom,
Right, we're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in, week out, to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. I want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders that taught us well. Salutations to the brothers that are pushing this word in truth and sincerity. So we're back again, spirit of prophecy today. Revelations 19 and 10 of the shot. And he was talking about the thing with Iran.
Yeah, I've got that right here now.
If you want to go into that.
Let him read
this one first.
I'm going to, but make sure you got the scriptures first.
Oh yeah, come.
Yeah, I've got the
It's
reason.
tied into it.
This is Revelation 19 and 10.
Right?
And I fell at his feet to worship him.
Yeah, because the angels are terrible looking. It's not like what they show you on the TVs and that with the little baby. You see that flipping Edomite woman here that was running her mouth. Those are the kind of people that put up the little babies with the feathers. Because notice that when she came, the first thing said, "Stop heckling the children." They always get the younger generation because they know they're easier to deceive. Here you are, you got our children dressed up in military combat uniforms when the real army is over here. The irony of that, innit? You've got the real army of Israel, Yahweh Ratazah here, and then you've got reprobate Jakes being led by the devil. Because the Edomite woman was the one that was vocal, right? She's the one that made it known. That's how we know you Edomites ain't gonna make it. That's the spirit. See, the Most High showing us right there. All right? Read.
And he said unto me, see thou do it not.
Yeah, because the angels are our brothers. Like that Edomite came on the program and said the people in the UFOs are tall black men with big afros. And that bamboozled a lot of Edomites because they were like, oh shit, well if that's what we're up against, then we ain't got a chance. Because they see the kind of technology that the Most High has, and then they realize that the people that they look down upon, they have a power that has things that is beyond their wildest imagination.
That's right.
All right? And soon they're gonna have to come face to face with these angelic beings. And they ain't gonna stand a chance because the pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, whose symbol is the eagle, right? And exactly, who's that talking about? That's talking about the so-called white man, yeah? That's why the white woman wanna run her mouth, because she got a little uniform. Oh yeah, the Edomites, yeah, Yeah, the Edomites wanna run their mouth, yeah? Because they know their time is nearly up. And the sons of Yasha'Allah are rising up, all right? Or we'll just call them Adawan. Let's confound them with some Lashawam Kadash. Yeah, carry on.
I am thy fellow servant.
Right? Because it tells you the angels do the bidding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? Read.
And of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai.
Right? the testimony of Yahushua is both the old and the new. Because testament goes back to the word testes, which means testify. Alright? And how do you read the testimony? You have to go to the Old Testament, because that's the prophecy, of the prophets about the man before he came. Alright? Read.
Worship our power.
Right?
For the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
Is what?
Is the spirit of prophecy.
And that's the spirit the pastors ain't in. I shouldn't even call them pastors. We should call them pimps, tricks. You know how you go to a strip club and you get the tricks that trick you for some money. That's how these churches are, man. All right, get Jeremiah 5 and 7. Let me show you the churches ain't what you think it is, because even the Most High called it in code. All right, a harlot place, a place for whores, a place for spiritual wanderers. You know whoremongers, yeah? What do they do? What do whoremongers do on the weekend? They post up on the block and they look for some honeys. That's how our people are in the spirit. They're spiritual whoremongers. And that's the worst kind of whoremonger to be. Because once your spirit is messed up, you're finished. Okay? Because the flesh reacts according to how the spirit goes, man. And if your spirit ain't strong, your temple ain't gonna stand. Alright?
This is
Spirit is willing, but the flesh is
It's weak. Yeah, you got something on that in Romans. Yeah, go on.
this is Jeremiah 5 and 7.
Right?
How shall I pardon thee for this?
How shall I what?
How shall I pardon thee for this?
Yeah, so the Most High is pissed off, man, at the state our people are in. Packing themselves in these churches, alright? Every Sunday. Our people are very committed with going to church, You understand? Here you are, you got the men of the Lord standing on the highways and the byways. We're standing on the highways and the byways, but people would rather buy goods from shops. But they won't buy what we're selling on the byways.
That's right.
This is the byway. Okay, if you want to purchase some knowledge for free, this is the byway. Come here and buy. Like it says in Isaiah 55, come ye to the waters and buy. Without money. Because we don't have a big basket here asking people to give us some change, It says buy the truth, man, but don't sell it to the people. It has to be for free. Alright? Yeah, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
This is Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation.
Right.
The spirit indeed is willing.
The what?
The
spirit indeed is willing.
The what?
The spirit indeed is willing.
But the flesh is weak.
But the what?
But the flesh is weak.
Yeah, man, the flesh is weak, bro. That's why we can't wait to get translated into the new bodies, man. That's what we're fighting for. That second Esdras 2 and 44 to 47, yeah? These are they that put off mortal clothing, man. And put on the immortal, the incorruptible, man. Yeah, bro.
This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1.
Right?
For behold, that the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly.
All that what?
And all that do wickedly.
Exactly. All that do wickedly shall be stubborn. That's talking about the missiles, but we'll get into that later on. Alright?
Thy children have forsaken me.
That what?
Thy children have forsaken me.
Yeah, our people have forsaken Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. How do we know? Because the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are here, and the people don't even regard. You know the Most High said, I have stretched my hand all the day. I know it is. Part-time, isn't it? The Most High said, I have stretched my hand out all the day long. You know that precept in Isaiah 65 and 2. He said, I have stretched, Shalom. The guy said, I've stretched my hand out all the day long. Because, hey, when we come out here, we're out here all day, man. You understand? For the most part of the day, we're out here. Yeah? And people can come up to us and ask us questions, but they don't want to. You know why? Because they're wicked, man. And we've got the answers, man. Okay? Your pastors don't have no answers.
That's right.
Because a lot of your pastors, when we talk to them, they don't know the scriptures. And that's worrying for us, because that shows us a lot of you are going to die. Because it says, get Isaiah 33 and 6, Baba Kushar. Yeah, go on.
and sworn by them that are no gods.
And what?
And sworn by them that are no gods.
Yeah, like Caesar Borgia, man. That's a no god. That's a nobody.
Khan.
That's a man that passed away a long time ago.
Khan.
That's rotting in the grave right now. That's turned back into what? Into little
Maggots and dust.
maggots and dust, the water. Because our people trust in Caesar Borgia, man. But Caesar Borgia is nothing but the devil. Yeah? The same Caesar Borgia is the one that put your ancestors in slavery. Had them in chains and shackles, shitting and pissing on each other, fighting over some chitlins and pork ribs, yeah? Abominable foods, man. Now they give you shitty ghettos and slums and GMO food. How about that? And you pray to these same people. That's why the Lord said, you have sworn by those which are no gods, because you fight tooth and nail for these abominations. Yeah? Caesar Borgia looks like a damn abomination with the long hair and the recessive genetical eyes. Because it's not normal for a human to have blue eyes and green eyes. That looks like, you see that in animals, right? You see like a cat at nighttime, his eyes start turning green, and you're like, right, yeah, because he's an animal. But these Edomites, their eyes change color with the weather. Some Edomites in the wintertime, they got hazel eyes. In the summertime, they get green eyes. I wonder why. But yet, we're all human though, aren't we? Yeah, go on,
Romans chapter 10 verse 21. But to Israel he saith, all day long I have stretched forth my hands.
Oh, what?
All day long I have stretched forth my hands.
Yeah, that the Most High is reaching out. You know how they say, reach out, brother, reach out, brother. Brother, when you gonna reach out? We're reaching out. We've got the riches, you know, the spiritual riches.
That's right.
Unlike these wicked ass celebrities that make it and forget about their people, when we made the spiritual riches, we came back to the people to help them out. But you know, Jake is so carnal, yeah? They think when you make money, you gotta come to the hood and give out turkeys. What's turkeys gonna do for you? This is more than turkeys.
Spiritual food.
Spiritual food. We're giving it to you for free. You understand? We're giving the handouts for free. We're spilling it out. Yeah? Living waters, man. We're flooding the streets with this word. Alright?
But to Israel he saith, all day long I have stretched forth mine hand unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
Onto a what?
Unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
And you Israelites are some gainsayers, man. They just wait for us to say the right thing to click their nerve, and then they come back with rebuttals. That's what our people like, you know. They'll hear you out for a minute. They'll go like that. They'll listen. They'll wait for a one catchphrase, and then they'll use that and say, you're going off, and then they start scoffing. And then they go from, I wanted to learn and hear what you had to say, to, who wrote the Bible? The Bible was wrote by, like that guy that came last time. He said he wanted to learn, right? But then, who wrote the Bible? When they get cut, but that's how you know that's that Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12 effect. Because don't forget, it says in Hebrews 4 and 12, it is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So you could be a wicked ass nigger and come and stand here and pretend like you're down with us, but one precept we bring out is gonna show us what kind of man you are. Because only a real man can do what we do.
That's right.
So those of you that are not doing this, that tells us you're effeminate. Because this shows, you know when it says show yourselves to be men in Joshua, yeah? This is how you show yourself to be a man, all right? Standing up for your power, man, for your nation, for your people. Something your so-called leaders are failing to do. Because the last time I checked, they're joining hand in hand with the same people that are destroying you in your communities. All right, like setting up abortion clinics, there should be a riot about that. Giving us vaccinations, there should be a riot about that. Teaching LGBT and having a rainbow flag, there should be a riot about that. But you know, Jake ain't saying nothing. Jake is just lurking on the side crack, pocket watching, waiting for the right nigga to, you know, shoulder barge him so we can have a fight. That's what we've been reduced to, man. Side crack walking niggas, man. That's what we've been reduced to. We went from kings and priests to this. That's why the Lord said, I'm gonna build up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen. and close up the breaches and build it as in the days of old. So we're going back to how it used to be. So if you want to be part of the future, you got to learn about how things are going to be from the old. And that shows you you can't do away with the Old Testament. For you Christians that say the Old Testament is done away with, the prophecy said the Lord is going to build the tabernacle of David. How can we know to prepare ourselves if we don't go back to the Old? That's the only place you can read about the tabernacle of David.
That's right.
All right? And the tabernacle of David, they weren't playing no games with nobody. If you wasn't an Israelite, you was going to get laid down.
The reason why they think the old is done away with because that veil is still upon us.
Yeah, you might have to read that precept out again because some people probably didn't even watch that video, so you might have to bring it out because, you know, this is like a tap. It just keeps flowing, man. This word just keeps flowing. It keeps going. And it's funny because the Most High made it like that on purpose, you know, just so when the judgment comes, you know, Jake is always going to say, oh, I didn't know. So we got to keep this thing on a replay. We got to keep this thing going over and over and over again. Hey, that's true, you know, because when you go in the law, it says in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, right? You know what I mean?
Even when the Most High says, remember the day I took you out of Egypt, remember the day I took you out of Egypt, remember the day I took you out of Egypt, you just remember that, he just keeps saying, remember, don't forget, man.
And they're telling us to forget. They're telling us to forget what happened in the past, but they don't forget nothing. They don't forget nothing, all right? Why was the Queen giving out poppies to the ex-military Second World War? Because they didn't forget what happened.
That's right.
But we can't remember what happened to us. We can't remember. And it's coming because I always say this, yeah, Esau can do anything he wants to do. But at the end of the day, he's still going to have to deal with us because the earth belongs to us.
That's right.
We are the real landlords here. These people are in our space. The Most High is allowing them because it says, Isaiah 26:10, let favor be shown unto the wicked. The Most High is merciful. He wants every nation to have a go at rulership. So when we have them under our foot, you know, they can't say the Most High ain't merciful. He's not just. It tells you in Proverbs 11:1, it says a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh. So everyone needs to get a go at ruling, innit? And then at the end of the day, they all go in slavery forever. It makes sense to me. And you niggas that don't want to rule over these heathens, we're going to rule over them for you. All right?
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 3. I'll start 12. Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech, and not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished, but their minds were blinded.
But they what?
But their minds were blinded.
But they what?
But their minds were blinded.
That's why they don't understand what we're teaching. Hey, people come and stand here, they watch us, you know, they analyze. They're like, bro, they're holding Bibles, you know. We're reading precepts they've heard before. But for some reason, they leave with a distorted understanding. That's a spiritual veil right there.
It says, but their minds were blinded, but until this day remain.
But what?
But until this day.
It says until this day, 2019.
That's right.
Read.
Remaineth the same veil.
Remaineth what?
Remaineth the same veil.
Untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
In the what?
In the reading of the Old Testament.
Because when you go to the church, the first thing they tell you, forget about the Old Testament. Jesus is love. Jesus is love. But we can go in the Bible where it tells you, Jesus said, think not that I came to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? He's coming back to lay this place out. That's what people don't want to come to terms with. And this is what we got to deal with. We got to be the bearers of bad news, innit?
Right.
No one else wants to do it. So the Most High said, all right, since the leaders of Israel are just pocket watching, lollygagging, all right, they're conniving with the enemy, I'm going to raise up the most unlikely of men. Because we're just regular guys, you know? That's why people don't take us seriously. Because that's how the gospel was meant to be preached. The Lord said through the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So it's all about faith there, man. Don't look at us and say we're just some regular niggas from off the strip. So we can't possibly have the correct understanding of the word. That's the same thing they did to Yahushua. When Yahushua was teaching, they said, is that not the carpenter's son? Why do you think they said that? Because they were like, "Rah, isn't that boy, that carpenter's son, like, rah, what's he
Prophet come out of Nazareth.
kind of prophet?" You see what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing to us. They're like, "Rah, is that not that Peckham, that guy from Peckham? Is that not that guy from Tottenham? Like, rah, he ain't got no gospel. He's just, you know what I mean?" But it's the Most High's program. He wants it to go down like this. Okay?
Says, but their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in the Mashiach. But even unto this day, when Moses is read,
When what?
when Moses is read,
When what?
When Moses is read.
Like when we read Deuteronomy 22:5, all hell broke loose down there. Eve damn nearly took our heads off, boy. We was trying to correct her.
right.
You even got people that are saying that we're being too harsh on the sisters now. So you know what? We should just leave the sisters to destroy themselves. But then we're gonna have blood on our hands. That's what people don't realize, you know. We're trying to deliver our own ass. We're not just standing here because we want to. Because our lives are at stake now. Because once you know knowing this truth is worse than being in the world. That's what you people need to realize. Knowing this truth is more risky than just being out there in the world and not knowing, because then you can make an excuse and say, "I didn't know."
you get few stripes.
You get few stripes. You're still gonna get a stripe, but you're gonna get that lesser than the one that did know. And they tell you that in Luke. Luke 12:47. Luke 12:47.
But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart.
The what?
The veil is upon their heart.
Yeah.
This is chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid,
But if what?
But if our gospel be hid.
Hey, this is for those of you that just can't understand, because we've had people try and understand where we're coming from, but they just couldn't get it. So this is for you. If you're watching at home right now and you're saying, "I'm trying to understand